All right. Hello, everyone. This is episode number 11 of Next Gen Burnouts. I'm your co host, Logan, and we got the main host, Jordan, with me today. Um, yeah, we're here to talk about the Miami Grand Prix as well as NASCAR's Kansas race. Jordan, how are you doing, man?
Hanging in there. How are you? It was a fun weekend of motorsports, don't you think?
Can't complain. Cannot complain.
Where do you want to start first? Are we thinking F1? Are we thinking NASCAR? I think we'd be doing a
Honestly, you
disservice to
called
our
the shots
NASCAR.
last time, so I'll let you decide.
Well, I mean, I think NASCAR was only 10 times more entertaining than F1 this week, which,
Good
in
point.
my opinion, we both watched that Miami Grand Prix race, and
Yeah.
it was pretty stale, which we can get into a little bit later. But
You know what? Let Fuck it. Let's start with F1. Let's get it. Let's talk about
okay.
it. Kind of breeze through it and stuff. Just kind of my initial reaction going into it. Obviously, there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of build up when you have a race in Miami. Celebrities were out, and it just it was boring. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this year of F1 has been honestly a story just of Red Bull, Sergio, and Max. And I think that I would say that kind of storyline has gotten a little bit more interesting because, like last season, Sergio, he was always just seen as, the B car driver, which I would still obviously say he still is as of this year. But the competitiveness between the two, I definitely think has increased through this season. And am I crazy to say that, or
No, not at all. I think it was literally a two-man race in my opinion.
yeah?
There was really no question in my eyes of if Max was going to make it to the top. It was just when he was going to pass everybody because he did start P9, which
I
just
was
a
gonna
bad
say,
qualifying. Yeah, he was just low in qualifying, but uh, it was a two-man race the whole way, and I think it was maybe 10 to go. Checo was in front, and Max caught him like nothing. It was like they let him race too. I mean, Checo, there was no word of like, oh, you got to let him through. I know there was some issues with that last year, but no, it was a weak race in my opinion. It was like the most predictable thing you can possibly imagine happened. Of course, I will say a little disappointed as well because as the fans know, it's widely known that I'm a big Haas guy, and
yeah,
yeah, Magnussen qualified P4, which is phenomenal. That was an amazing qualifying for him,
yeah.
and by turn one he was P7, P6, P7. Was dropping like a fly.
Yeah.
So that was pretty disappointing. He did finish in the points, which is for a
You
I
got
don't want
one
to say
point, right?
yeah, exactly. He finished 10th.
You
Uh,
can't even use the word point, just
no,
point.
no, he literally got point. Pretty ridiculous, but for a team that's not even in the midfield, it's down below. It's like one of the bottom teams. Obviously, a point is a point. So
That's the
uh,
Super Bowl, right?
yeah, it's pretty disappointing, but it is what it is. And yeah, I think honestly for the Miami race, especially last year as well, because Max won it last year, won it this year.
Mm.
It's more about the fanfare. It's more about the celebrities. It's more about who's going. It's more about that type of stuff than the actual product on the track, which is really unfortunate. So I don't know if that's a F1 thing or if that's a Miami thing, but uh, yeah, I would love to see a competitive Miami race next year if that day
I
comes.
know. And we'll kind of see. Obviously, there's only a few races in the United States. What is it? Austin, Miami, and now Vegas. I'm
Yep.
interested to see how Vegas pans out to see if that's anything competitive whatsoever. Because honestly, Miami so far has not really been too much of a competitive race by any means. So,
Yeah,
be interesting to see how that pans out.
and I think also too, it's tough for like you and I have said 1,000 times, we're not track experts. We don't know what goes in to make a track, uh,
Yeah.
better or worse than like a different one. But I think it has more just to do with the fact that Red Bull's car is just unbeatable. It is
Yeah.
just so much better than the competition. Like you put anyone else in P9 and they'll be happy to finish, P9. They're
Yeah.
not, it's not,
Yeah.
you're not going to sit there. Even if it was Checo at P9, I'd be saying, yeah, it's a matter of time before he works his way up to that top three. It's like that's not a
Yeah.
common thing you can really say for other teams. So I don't know. Maybe this is just a product of Red Bull, just has it on lock. This is just their year, clearly. Um, their decade so far. But yeah,
Would you say this is creating a stale product?
absolutely. Oh my gosh, it's not even close. And that's the thing that's a bummer is when F1 is competitive, like when there's a race that like we watched, I can't remember which one it was. I want to say Australia. No, don't quote me. But we watched the race. It was two
Talking
race
about
back.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
was Australia.
that was a
If I'm
fantastic. Yeah, that was a fantastic race, and that was what you want to see. That's like it was Australia. Yes, you're correct. I just double
yeah.
checked. It's like when there's races like that, F1 is unbeatable. That's the peak of motorsport to an extent. Of course, everyone has their preferences, but yeah. So it's really really unfortunate that the first five races of the year have been pretty ass.
To be honest, that Australia race was probably the best race thus far
Yeah, I would say
this
so
season.
too.
Yeah.
Even before all the BS at the end of the race, because obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
some people like it, the red flags and all that stuff. It's like okay, kind of mixes it up, but it's not. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
see that every race. So
That was an entertaining race, and that's what I was kind of saying about like stale product is with so far this season there has only been two winners. It's either
exactly,
Sergio or Max.
in
So
one
it's
team.
like, is that and it's on the same team, and stuff like do we think is that creating a stale product? Is that I mean it's I'm just thinking about it from an external point of view of like a fan like really why would I be a fan of blank or blank? I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to really say here, but just like when it's pretty consistently that Red Bull is going to win, it's kind of, at least in NASCAR, I mean, William Byron's been great this year, but I don't have to worry about him winning every single race or, his team winning every single race, which they've won a lot.
He was close. He was coming back too. I don't know if you saw where he
Yeah.
finished P3, but and the crazy part was you know what? Fuck it. We're tabling the F1 talk.
I
F1
was going to say,
that's
is this a good time to transition? Because
yeah. It's
what
it's
more
got
do we have to say about F1, really?
it's
What?
got it got more than enough of our podcast
Yeah,
time. This is
I got enough.
valuable minutes.
Red Bull
Um,
won. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy,
yeah,
cool,
hey,
and stuff.
all good.
But just, you know.
Oh, last thing on F1, I guess, is I am curious. I would like to see, since it's clear that Red Bull is going to win the Constructors' Championship, it's mathematically, it would be so hard. They'd have to have it could happen, but they would have to really, really screw things up. I want to see a race for one and two. I want to see Checo compete. I know it'll be very
Yes.
difficult, but would
Yeah.
love to see that. And then maybe, I guess, which is sad, I want to see who the driver who comes in third, which is
Third.
pathetic if that's what we're looking for. But it's like I'm curious, who's it going
Well,
to be? But
you know what? I'll open it up for one last thing about F1. Okay, so we've seen Checo and Verstappen win. Okay, who is going to be the first non-Red Bull? We can go individual. We don't even have to go team. But who's going to be the first to win? That's not one or two.
I think
I think
Alonso,
first. You think Lonzo? Yeah, he's been pretty good. I would love to see a Lewis Hamilton win, but
that'd be cool, but I don't see it. I
I'd
mean,
have to hop in a time machine for that, right?
yeah, I don't see it. I mean, of course, anything can happen, but yeah,
You think-
that Mercedes is
You should just put it down right now. Just say it live. Who do you think is going to be the next winner that is not Checo or Verstappen?
Fernando Alonso. That's what I'm going with.
So, okay. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Leclerc on that. Charles Leclerc.
That's a safe pick. Yeah, that's a safe
Yeah.
pick. Leclerc, he's of course can't fault you for that one. I think either of us could win that. Uh, we'll
Just
have to see.
shoots himself in the foot all the
Yeah,
time. So it's like I don't know when it will happen, but if the stars align and everything, and he has a good race, somehow, because really, I mean, last year too, Checo, he was good, but he wasn't consistently getting second places or even first places. I think he got first once last year, if I'm not mistaken. But now they are really a strong 1-2 duo where it's people are fighting to get third place now. So
Well,
I don't know.
I don't.
What's up?
I was gonna say I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think Checo finished second in the drivers' standings last year. Don't quote me on
Yeah,
that, but okay,
yeah, he probably did realistically,
okay.
but
So
I
yeah, he
don't
was.
know.
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I
So
gotta
you go
ask you.
Alonso and I'll go Leclerc. I guess this will just be a friendly thing. We don't have to write this down. We
No,
don't have
no,
to
but
make a big. We don't have to make a
but,
big deal on Twitter when it happens.
but we'll know. We'll know. Episode 11. Uh, all right, I gotta ask. What do
Yeah,
you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about the finish or the punch?
bro. Let's be professional and let's talk about the
Talk about the
race
finish.
first. And we'll get
Okay.
into that because I'm still lost at that. It's so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Really good meme content came out of that.
Oh, for
I
sure.
didn't even capitalize on that enough, but I should have because there was
Look,
definitely some stuff. But yeah, let's talk about the race. Let's do it. Oh man, good race. I would say. I think a couple of weeks back I was kind of talking shit about Kansas, but ended up being a great race. What can I say? It was a good race.
yeah,
Um,
I would say it was one of the better races of the year for a mile and a half track. Definitely can't complain about it. I thought the
mhm.
ending really kind of put an exclamation point on it. Uh, Interesting enough, I noticed you're in your Denny Hamlin merch. Yeah, Denny at the end there. What what are we thinking? Was that move
Totally, totally clean.
totally clean?
Do
There
nothing
was
wrong with it.
you
I don't
didn't
even
see
think there
any.
was really that. I didn't personally really even see that much talk about it. I mean, it is
I
what it
mean,
is.
I
And he
mean he
didn't.
bumped.
What's up?
I said he bumped him clearly. That was a Larson W all day. I know you and I aren't the biggest Larson's fan by any means, but that was a W written all over it. And
Yeah,
yeah,
when I
look,
saw that live, I was like, dude, damn, Denny just did that. He
yeah,
did
no.
that.
I saw a tweet from Larson's wife, I believe, and she said, "Actions hypocritical." Little play on words there for his actions detrimental podcast. If you,
Ah,
because
okay, okay. That went over
Denny's
my head, but okay.
Denny's always preaching, just be safe, don't do anything, out of pocket. He's always getting on Ross Chastain, doing all this. Clean racing's the best way to be. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. If it was someone else, maybe. But the
Okay,
fact that
I can't quite pinpoint it. I really can't. But I know there was shit. It was on Father's Day of last year or something. I know it was a Joey Logano win, and there was questions because he did something very similar to what happened. I forgot what track it was. I want to say it was either on Mother's Day or Father's Day of last season when Joey Logano won. He did something very similar to this, a little bump and stuff. Man, I can't think for the life of me what that was. Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
okay, well, I can't remember at all. And all I was saying for my point is
Mhm.
I don't necessarily think that what Denny did was too out of pocket by any stretch of the imagination. It's not F1. You can bump and rub. It is what it is. I mean, that happens every lap out there. But the fact that it was on the last lap for the race win, I mean, I don't know, a little suspect. But it is what it is. He got the W. Obviously, there wasn't too much uproar on it, so I feel like I'm definitely in the minority. But uh, I don't know.
Okay, so he won at Darlington May 8th of 2022. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the race. And honestly, the Burnouts will call me out later if I'm
Yeah.
wrong or whatever.
What are you
But
getting on? What are you getting at here?
very similar thing with kind of like what Denny did, where he bumped Larson into the wall. Fuck, I just got rid of it. But Joey Logano did the same thing to Blank that day too, and that's how he ended up winning. I think he did it to Reddick that day. So I don't know. It was just something, just a side comment or whatever. But no,
Oh,
I thought it was clean.
All right, that's interesting. Thank you for bringing me back to Father's Day, 2022.
I just went on a tangent. I'm like, dude, I can't just say this ends and not go on.
No, no,
And
I get you.
so,
I
yeah,
get you.
but
Yeah, no,
yeah, no, that
outside of
could have been Larson winning too, easily.
what'd you say?
Larson should have easily won that.
Yeah, I agree. And a little sidetracked also, not to get into the whole, darts and duds segment of our podcast, the infamous darts and duds. But I was close to hitting another dark horse. Bubba had a pretty nice race. I said, you know what? I got a feeling it could be Bubba's day. Ended up fourth. Uh,
Do you
Two and
want
a
to know
half
something
for
funny?
were you debating throwing Bubba
No,
down?
no. I just thought like pretty early on after the race started, I kind of had a good feeling about Bubba too, and he was doing good and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dude, Jordan is gonna ruin it for me. If he gets a dark horse through X, boom, which I was that honestly kind of dampened my mood seeing him win with you getting a dark horse win. But then Bubba, who we were just talking about last week, him winning and you get a dark horse for that, that would absolutely ruin it for me,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So
I'm
I've
just gonna
basically
start.
seen every one of my other favorite drivers, all a million of them. I've basically seen everyone win.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm just gonna start picking your favorite drivers who I know you really enjoy watching. That way, if I ever get the dark horse win, it just kind of just ruins your day. They're just like, all right,
That's sick. That's sick.
that's just what
I'm gonna
friends
see
do.
what I in the darts and duds this week. So I chose Logano P6, not bad. Reddick P9, not bad either. And then Gibbs, he had that issue I know, and yet he was a DNF. Damn it, he was racing pretty good today too. Besides that, manufacturer Toyota hit a dart right there. And then my dark horse was Chase Elliott, who ended up P7. So overall,
Not bad.
besides Gibbs DNF, all in the top 10 and a manufacturer win, I can't complain about that.
Yeah, so I'll just go through mine really quick as well. I had Byron, of course. I feel like this year Byron is just on a roll. Finished P3. I had Chastain as well, finished P5, and then I have Logano finishing P6. So every single one of my locks finished in the top six. Not bad. Chevy, that was a miss. Chevy, they were 2 and 3, so not a hit, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
And then Dark Horse Bubba was 4. So outside of not getting a hit, that's about as good as you can ask. I literally picked 3, 4, 5, and 6.
It's pretty
Uh,
incredible because look at the top 10. Okay, you didn't do Austin Dillon. Okay, bet he's 10. Reddick, I said. Truex, neither of us said. Elliott, I said. Logano, I said. You said Chastain. You said Bubba. You said Byron. Then just what? Neither of us said Larson or Hamlin, right?
nope.
That's pretty good. Out of the top 10, me and you decided
Hey,
six of the top
hey,
10. And I got the manufacturer.
hey, if you want relatable NASCAR content, that
Come to
right
us.
there is all we have to say. Give us a listen. This is the time I'm going to plug it. We're on
Plug it.
YouTube. We're on Apple Podcast, Next Gen Burnouts.
Exclusively.
We're on Twitter, Next Gen Burnouts. Give us a follow, give us a retweet. We're active on all platforms that I just listed. And yeah, we always usually say that at the end for the diehard burnouts who are here, 40 minutes in, but I'll plug it a little bit earlier.
I think that was a good time to plug because that really shows that, I mean, if you took any of our advice during this race in a
We
top
said
10 finish, you did pretty good. You got
you
the manufacturer right if you took me.
you did damn well. So yeah, that's how it is. I think we enough. We're beating around the bush here. What do you think
Little,
of the
we're
punch?
punching around the bush.
Yeah. What do you think? What's your initial thoughts? I'll let you take it away on this guy.
Okay, well, I gotta ask something. I don't. I need you to explain this to me. What exactly did something happen during the race that what made them? What made Noah come up to Ross? Did I miss that?
I didn't see it as well. I don't know what I must have gotten up for a snack break. I didn't see it. To my understanding, though, Chastain just doored him, brought him up on a turn, and I don't know if it made Gregson uh, uh, like DNF. Can you let
Nope,
me?
nope. P29. So
Okay,
pretty far,
so
but
yep. So it would have helped if you and I both maybe linked up and watched what happened first. We're just new age media. We just see the end and we just instantly have to
yeah,
give our takes on it. But
yeah.
I digress. That right there, even though I said I'll let you go first, I'm just going to get into it. That's a
Get it.
Chastain move all day. I don't need to
Oh,
see what happened because I
yeah.
know what happened. Chastain fucked him up. Clearly, it was 100% Chastain's fault. There's no reason
Yeah.
to think otherwise. And honestly, the drivers are done with it. I'm a Chastain guy, as uh, I declared a few episodes back, but he's not he's not a clean driver at all.
No.
You're gonna expect you got to expect these things when you drive the way he drives.
Well, it's just like I'm kind of sick of him saying, I think it was last week, and it was to Brandon Poole, when he, crashed him and stuff. He's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go over to his camp and apologize to him and stuff. Change the record. I've heard that so many times from Chastain. And dude, you can only say sorry so many times. I'm surprised, like, not all like the NASCAR guys just got together and they just all kick his ass. But I do respect Noah Gragson. I don't know, like we said, we didn't see what it was, but we know what it was.
Yes.
But I respect Noah Gragson, rookie, goes up to Ross Chastain, and he looks dumb as shit too with that haircut. I think it's funny. I love it, but he looks dumb as shit. Walking up to him, and I couldn't quite get what they were saying. All I know is when Gregson grabs
And
Chastain,
pushed
I
him
could read his
and
lips.
pushed
He said stop. He said stop. And then they were going a little bit. And then, dude, that connect to Gregson, that probably hurt like a bitch, dude. That sounded like it hurt. He
yeah,
ate
that
it.
was
He ate it. And then
that.
he was about to throw a punch back, and then the guy stopped him. But if he would have connected there, that probably would have knocked him out too. That had potential to be a sick fight. And it's like NASCAR. You're recording this, which shout out to the guy who recorded that, because that's pretty dope. But let it go. Let it go for a little bit, kind of like hockey. Like what's the big deal,
I'll disagree with you there. I thought they did the right thing. You
A
can't have
little bit. A
you
little
you
bit.
you can't have guys punching each other in the face. I mean, come on, let's be real there. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought the
It's all
fight
the
was,
time hockey. I mean, I know
but
they have their shit, they throw their shit off and they do it. Like,
NASCAR ain't hockey though. That's not established. I mean, guys get in each other's faces, but throwing punches, I feel
watch.
like that's
But it's funny when there's a promo commercial. Bet your ass that's going to be something on a
no.
promo. Oh, look
I
at
agree.
this NASCAR cars fucking flipping. Ross Chastain punching him in the face. They want to sell that shit. So I think they should have at least let it go for a little bit. Dude, that's going to gain so much traction. And hey, if you don't watch NASCAR and you see that little clip, that might have gotten you a new viewer by seeing that and saying, "Oh shit, this is kind of fucking rowdy. Let's watch it."
I will say too, to your point, I agree with you. They're definitely going to market that moment. Um, I think Noah Gragson is great for the sport. That kid
Oh yeah,
he's electric. The haircut, the not being afraid to confront a driver who clearly has uh, issues, on the track, like the whole nine. Really, I know you're a fan as well, but we both like
oh, yeah,
Noah. I feel like he's a good, entertaining driver and the type of personality NASCAR needs badly.
sure.
And I have no problem with the outcome of what happened. In my opinion, Graxon put hands on Chastain, which maybe not recommended, to put hands on someone. And Chastain responded with a right hook. It is what it is. I feel like I if I went up to you and was handling you the way Noah was handling Ross,
Whoop your ass.
you would attempt to. See, that's the thing. But if you punched me, I couldn't get mad and say, what the hell, why'd you punch me? No,
Yeah,
I was manhandling you. I feel like it's all fair in that regard. So I hope there's no
but
type of
yeah, no, and there will be. I'm gonna go off and say that there probably will be a suspension
for Ross,
for
not for Noah. Definitely not.
because technically, if you think about it, like Gregson went up, he didn't punch him or anything.
No,
he grabbed him, kind of like a middle school bully, grabbing the thing and stuff like that.
and
It
he
was
grabbed him
Ross,
aggressively.
huh?
He grabbed him aggressively. It was not just a grab. It was grab, and then he started to push him backwards and get in his face. Like,
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean,
light.
I don't know. The only thing I'll say about the Noah Gragson thing, I totally agree with you too. Really like him. Glad he's coming to Toyota next year, all that and stuff. The only thing I'll say though is he does need to back it up with some good placement. I don't think he's done that good. Now, Ty Gibbs, on the other hand, he's been actually pretty low key because wasn't it Ty Gibbs that got in a fight with someone? Remember the video where they got in a physical fight? It was last year. It
That
was
was
an
with
X Factor.
that was with Gregson. If
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not,
So that was them who fought and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, they had beef. It was, and it wasn't, and
Yeah,
it wasn't Gibbs fighting Gregson, to my recollection. The Burnouts will call me out, but I'm pretty sure it was Gregson doing the same thing
I
to
think you're right.
Gibbs that he did to Chastain. Um,
I think. Yep.
so I don't know how I
So
feel about that now that yeah.
yeah, shows that he has a little bit of spice in him and stuff. But it seems like Ty Gibbs has been super low key, and honestly, besides today, really, he's done really good in his rookie year of just being able to finish well. I mean, the last few races, he was 9-10, 9-10, whatever, like
Nope,
pretty
I
good.
agree.
Great. So, are we good with this subject and stuff? I mean, guess we'll kind of see what happens going forward.
Yeah, I'm not
We're
sure
good.
where you're. I guess my only thing that I wanted to mention is I thought one of the low key parts of it that was pretty hysterical was Joey Logano in the background. Saw the punch connect, took a step back, has his Coke in his hand, is drinking his Coke, just watching it. I was like, oh, this guy's a legend. He didn't even. What?
Um,
I know, I agree. Logano is such a nice guy.
One thing I just wanted to mention, you know how we do darts and we have kind of a theme going. We've
Oh
got
yeah,
Gillian look out. P24 today. And
not
one
bad.
thing I wanted to mention was I know I was talking some shit last week about two particular drivers. Chase Briscoe, he ended P32, and then Austin Cindric right above him at P31. Logan talked some shit, and then they performed like shit the next week. Just saying.
Yeah, it wasn't a great race for Briscoe. Not exactly sure. I can't remember what happened to cause it. I want to say a speeding
His wheel
penalty. What'd you say?
his wheel came out when he was
On the.
exiting pit row.
Yep,
That's the same
that's it.
thing that happened to Cindric too. It happened to both of them, which is kind of fucking funny because I talk shit and then the thing happens to both of the two
Both of
drivers I
them.
was talking about. Maybe I have some. Maybe if I talk shit about someone, they end up not doing good. So who am I going to talk shit about this week?
Yeah, that's a great
Uh,
question.
Kyle Larson. Fuck him. We'll see how he
Uh,
does next week now.
well, I just wanted to check because you're talking trash. It is what it is. I got to defend anyone from SHR, but Chase Briscoe actually fell out of the playoffs with that performance. As of now, he is 17th in the driver's standing. He is
Mhm.
four points behind Daniel Suarez. So Trackhouse boy, I like that. So yeah, he's 17th at the moment. So not he's not out of it completely. Obviously, all it takes is a win.
Yep.
And really quick too, you obviously had Denny in your playoff 16.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, of course. So let me see. That should have. Yeah, Denny's fourth. Okay.
Doing pretty good. It's crazy. Ross is number one right now, and he doesn't even have a win.
Yeah,
Just
that's insane.
points wise,
Yep.
number one. That's pretty crazy.
Yep. He's having a good year.
Harvick's 5 right now in
Yep.
points.
Harvick's been extremely consistent. Also, mentioning Harvick, I would be hard pressed not to mention he got named, of course, in NASCAR's top 75 drivers. It was to be expected. The closer.
Yeah.
It was almost like at this point, what are they waiting on? I
Yep.
don't know. I don't know how many spots they have left.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure either.
I don't think they've announced Jimmy Johnson yet, and there's someone else that's just like a no-brainer that's gonna make it instantly.
They said
Uh,
Jeff Gordon yet?
I'm not sure actually. I would assume so.
Probably. You know, going back to just modern day, looking at the points too, it's it's only a matter of time before Ryan Blaney wins a race. He's 7 in points right now. It's just he's on a dry spell too. The All Star
Yeah.
race last year doesn't count either, and that was weird anyways. But he's on a dry spell, but he should be able to pull it off pretty soon to get a win. And Brad Keselowski, 10. Chris Buescher, RFK boys, 13. And yeah, it's looking good. I don't know. This is, I think so far this has been a good season, but it hasn't been like last year. Last year's
Yeah.
season, we got so lucky. That was probably one of the best NASCAR seasons, probably of all time,
Yep.
to
Nope. I
be
agree.
honest.
I agree.
Yeah.
And not to change the subject back and forth,
No,
but Jeff Gordon was originally named in the top 50
okay.
greatest drivers for the 50th anniversary. Um,
Okay.
so there's no need to name him for the 75 because obviously he's already on the list. But there's three more to be named. Okay, so there's three more spots.
You take a
Um,
guess at who's it going to be?
I'm trying to look through the
What do you
current
website or something, or how'd you get to it?
really quick. The current
Yeah.
drivers that have already been named to the top 75: Martin Truex, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, Earnhardt Jr., even though he's not current, but uh, and then the two Bush brothers. So that's actually easy. I know one right off the top who I think should make it, and it's Joey Logano. Has to be.
Yeah,
I
I'd
feel
say
like
so.
that's a no-brainer. Looking at the other guys on the list, current drivers, I don't see any that I think so. It could potentially be a couple of old heads, which would be fine with me. Jimmy Johnson as well. So there would be one driver because
But
Jimmy
they
has
still
to.
haven't done Jimmy Johnson yet.
I didn't see his name on there. No,
He could be in the 50, but no,
I
that's
don't.
cool.
I don't think he was. But yeah.
Yeah,
So Jimmy
Jordan.
Johnson, Logano, and then there'll be a mystery guy, probably someone neither of us know, truthfully. If they do a throwback or if they do like an old school legend, just because I definitely don't know NASCAR drivers' history as well as I would like. But interesting to see who finishes that top 75 because obviously you and I are pretty big basketball fans. I know when the basketball top 75 list came out, that was super cool. So I really like
Yeah,
how NASCAR is doing that as well. Um, but yeah, I
makes sense.
digress.
Did you know little knowledge nugget? I don't know. This took me I just found this out not that long ago, and I'll probably get flamed by the burnouts. But Bill Elliott is Chase Elliott's dad.
I mean, it makes sense if you just think about it logically.
Yeah, I just didn't put two and two together. What else we got for this?
What are you searching over there? That's the question.
No, I was just making sure that what I said was
Oh
correct.
God, okay. I was gonna say, Jesus, dude.
But yeah,
No, so I guess what I would like to say is throwback week next week. Excited for
yeah,
that. Been seeing
yep,
some of the schemes get posted. I saw the Riley Herbst scheme for Monster Energy. They're doing a throwback for Ken Block. I know all the motorsports fans that listen
yeah.
to us and all the burnouts that listen to us know RIP Ken Block, rally car legend. So that's really freaking cool. So that's cool. I know people were bashing it, but I really like Kevin Harvick's throwback in the Sunny D. A lot of people
Oh,
were ones.
shit, that one's sick.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can talk about, I feel like next week this will be more
Yeah,
of a
that'll be a
topic
good
we
one.
can, when we see
Yeah,
all the other teams and stuff, because I was really only catching like Stuart Haas
yeah.
and a few others. But so yeah, so excited about that. I think that's a really cool thing that they do.
What do we have next week?
It's Darlington. Did I?
Is it Darlington? I don't know.
It's
I didn't.
it's throwback week. It's
Oh, cool.
Darlington.
What? What is that a thing? Is it always throwback week at Darlington?
Man, you're killing me over there. Oh,
I don't know.
Logan. Oh, Logan. Logan.
I'll, I'll just edit this last minute out of it.
Yeah, just delete this out. Um, really quick. Also, okay, we're in Italy for F1, so we're going from
It's not for a little bit,
Darlington.
right?
Um,
2 weeks or so?
actually, yeah, 2 weeks. So we're going from Darlington to Italy. A little bit of a difference there, but uh, yeah, I don't have much else to add. What about you? Anything you wanted to
Nope.
touch on?
I'm all good. Burnouts, you know the deal. A like always helps on the podcast. A comment, we'll take it all. Take what we can get. But the best fans in the whole motorsport world. Thank you so much. And we will be back strong next week. And we will be
Yes, sir.
posting on a Sunday. Sorry. Sorry it happened on Monday. It is what it is. Get over it.
Things happen.
All right. Take it easy. We'll see you next week.